Welcome to Mount Wilson, 5,700 feet above sea level, about 1,200 feet above the basin, home for 27 broadcast towers serving the Los Angeles area. As you can see, very impressive array. But the reason Angelenos come up here is for the view. And as you can see, it's quite a view. Right in the middle of the screen, you can see downtown Los Angeles. If it wasn't quite a hazy day, you'd be able to see all the way across the channel out to a place called Catalina. If you look far enough out, you can see two ridges of mountains. The first one is Palos Verdes, and then the second one is actually Avalon, Catalina Island, across the channel from Palos Verdes. It's a beautiful day, and we've come to celebrate the beauty of Mount Wilson, but also to do something else. Good morning. LA pipe smoker from Mount Wilson, 5,700 feet above sea level. Back of me, the LA Basin. Today I'm smoking my OMS Stubby Dublin. And it's a beautiful morning to be up here. You can tell on the way up, it was quite a winding journey on the roads. And so I thought that the tobacco that I would review up here today would simply be Ashton's Winding Road. As you can see over my shoulder, it's an absolutely beautiful day. And I can tell you, Winding Road is a beautiful smoke if you like aromatics. So let's get down to business and I'll read from you from the tin. A mellow mixture designed to bridge the gap between aromatic and English style blends. It's a great transitional blend if you want to go from an English to an aromatic. Comprised of golden and dark brown Virginia with a sprinkling of black Cavendish. I think there's more than a sprinkling of black Cavendish. This excellent blend bears a natural fragrance accompanied by subtle notes of caramel and apricot. Well, you get that in the tin note, but in the smoke, it's more like a raisin. Let me show you what it looks like. It's a ribbon cut. Hopefully you can see that. It came packaged quite nicely. Didn't really have to air it out. And very reasonably priced. I think I paid $6 or $7 for this 50-gram tin. Well, other than the Winding Road, why did I come up here today? Well, in addition to the beautiful views, Mount Wilson is actually quite historic. The grandfather of General George Patton was the first real settler to come up and explore this area. Of course, the Tonga people who inhabited the San Gabriel Mountains had used this variously from time to time, and so did earlier other settlers. But the main settler came up here in rather in search of wood for wine casks. Didn't find really very good trees for that, but found, as you can see, a beautiful view and a great place to go hunting. No more hunting allowed up here. The man's name was Benjamin David Wilson, 1852. That's when he came up here to explore. He ended up building, believe it or not, a toll road from down the mountain, up the hill. Now, in 1936, that was discontinued, and I think now it's a fire road. So the way you come in is through the back, and it's about a 35 minute drive from Los Angeles proper. But you can see it's quite a nice trip up, and quite rewarding once you get up here. Another element besides the antenna array, which is very impressive, is of course the Mount Wilson Observatory, which since the turn of the century, maybe a little before that, has been a major place for astronomers to come up. Not so much anymore to look at the stars, but there's quite an impressive Chara solar array run by Georgia State University that is quite active, and a lot of research going on with regard to the sun. So Edward Hubble, William Pickering was the first astronomy guy to come up here in 1889. One of the nice things about Los Angeles that I find is the ability to be at the ocean in the morning, and then just in a few hours, if you wanted to, you could be in the mountains. And as you can see today, it's quite a beautiful day. Because this is a national forest, I'm able to smoke my pipe, but even with that, because it's so dry up here, you got to really be careful. The law states you need a clearing around you of at least 3 feet, which I do. So it's one of the places I can come to hike and also to enjoy my pipe. This beautiful OMS Dublin. As you can see over my shoulder, a thin layer of haze. And that haze is not necessarily pollution. That's been part of the feature, the atmospheric feature of Los Angeles since the Native Americans were here. As a matter of fact, some of the early settlers described the smoke rising from the Native American settlements and leveling off, creating a large plate of what appeared to be smog over the LA basin. And it's because it's a basin pretty much surrounded by mountains on 3 sides, and then you have the coastline that allows for everything to kind of come up to a certain level and then dissipate. So this hazy view isn't necessarily smog. When I was a kid growing up in LA, we had smog. Something like this, you'd see it be completely brown in the middle of the day. We'd have smog days and I'd have to stay in school. No PE those days. And my lungs, I would breathe deeply and it would actually hurt. So as a result of that, from the 70s onward, they had a pretty strict emissions control requirement. And over the years, it's actually made the Los Angeles basin much clearer than it used to be. And certainly the air much more healthy to breathe. Note the irony, I am smoking a pipe, but it's a very small contribution to air pollution. And of course, I really don't consider pipe smoke to be air pollution. This Winding Roads pipe tobacco from Ashton is really quite a good transition. If you're thinking about going from English to aromatic, you don't want to get that gloopy, burbly problem at the bottom of your pipe. I do highly recommend this blend. It's a little bit like red cake, except it has a little bit more flavoring and a little bit more aromatic fragrance to it. This is an unfiltered pipe, and I've had virtually no problems keeping it lit, no problems with it burning, and it's a new pipe, so if it's going to be a hot bowl, it would have heated up by now. I do recommend that you air it out once you get it for about an hour, even though it's not really moist. Get in there, dig through it a little bit, let it air out for about an hour, and then it keeps very well in the tin. I've had this tin now for about about 3 weeks, maybe closer to a month, and haven't done anything special, just opened it, mixed it up a little bit, resealed it, and it stayed perfect. Now, for long-term storage, you need to use a mason or a ball jar. But what this is right now, just in the tin, is really at a perfect humidity for smoking. Well, that's all I have to say for today. I'm looking forward to meeting up with Curtis later this evening at the LA Pipe Smokers Club. And you all have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget about my giveaway. The last day for entry is midnight on Monday. On Tuesday afternoon when I get home from work, I'll have the drawing. So if you haven't had a chance to put up a video, you still got the weekend to do that. If you get a chance, I'd really enjoy having you participate in the giveaway. Right now, I think we're up to 19, 20 people have entered. So everybody has a pretty good chance of winning. Certainly better than the lottery. Anyway, you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you